Did you ever read books about escaping to some faraway fantasy land? What if you actually did it? What if you left behind your old life, all the people and places you've ever known, and traveled to an ancient land on the other side of the world? Could you do it? Could you? And if you did, how would that change you? The Romans called this land Caledonia. In Gaelic, this land is Alapa. You know it as Scotland. I call it home. 1 year ago, I began a new life here in my house in the Highlands. Fantasyland is real.
It was almost exactly a year ago that I first set foot here as the new owner of this property. It's been an incredible year. Utterly life-changing, magical in every sense of the word. And so I thought, well, why don't we do a video about this? About how Scotland has changed me as a person, and what I've learned about life since moving up here. Because it is very much a very clean break in most ways from anything and everything in my past. And that's an incredible feeling. So, I'll tell you this, If you've ever fantasized about what would it be like to build a new life in a new place, does it help deal with the baggage of the past? Yeah, it does. So, let's talk about that. And we've got a lot more in this episode as well, so let's get started. 1 year already.
Many people dream of returning to the home of their ancestors, Scotland. Last year, in 2025, I fulfilled a lifelong ambition and bought my dream home in the Scottish Highlands. I've made some incredible new friends along the way, and now, in 2026, I'm letting go of the past and building a new life for myself as I explore this amazing land. My name's Jason, and I live in the far north of the Scottish Highlands. This is my story. Welcome to the American Highlander. Here's what building this new life in Scotland has taught me over the last year. 1, very little in life is permanent. Don't be afraid to outgrow what no longer serves you. This is the 5th time I've completely reinvented my life. Different careers and completely different industries. Living in different parts of the world, surrounded by completely different people. If someone from my past in San Francisco, Hawaii, Los Angeles, or even London tried to interact with me today, most of them would find it very difficult, not only because life circumstances have changed so much, but because I'm just very different now. 2, some pain is unavoidable and should be viewed as a rite of passage. I'll give you an example. At some point, your heart will be shattered. Not just broken, shattered. This changes you as a man. Your heart hardens. Once you go through the pain of learning to live without someone you never thought you'd have to live without, you never quite fall in love like that ever again. You'll never be that vulnerable ever again. You'll never again place that much of your emotional well-being in the whim of someone else's control. And only after you've gone through the full process do you realize that not only is it necessary as part of life's journey from youth to full maturity, but it's something that virtually everyone goes through. You can mourn the life you never had, but once you achieve the greater prize of the life you wanted for yourself, it puts things in perspective. 3, wisdom should culminate in action. Regret is inevitable. You can't avoid regret. And if you're not careful, as you get older, you can drown in regret. The only control you have is to choose your regrets. And generally speaking, it's better to regret things you did than things you didn't have the courage to do. There are many, many, many choices I've made, which I regret. choices which hurt people, including myself. Had I made wiser choices, I'd probably have more money in the bank and more friends to talk to, and certainly fewer nightmares at night. But what eats at me the most are the regrets over what I didn't do. I'd rather take my shot and miss than not take the shot at all. If you want to achieve anything in life, you have to be willing to bet it all on yourself, and then have the work ethic to deliver. 4, you just don't care as much anymore, and that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should be a jerk, but you also reach a point where, honestly, you just really don't care that much what other people think of you anymore, and you're not going to compromise yourself just to be agreeable. There's a very small circle of humanity whose input really matters to me. Beyond that, I'm a ship alone on this ocean. So are you. And once you've learned that no one's coming to your rescue but you, especially once you've found your place in the world, you're way past the point of needing validation from others. It means that you start to interact with the world on your terms rather than the world's terms. And it makes the second half of life much, much more enjoyable. I'll tell you what living up here for the last year has taught me. It's taught me to protect my peace. And I know that's kind of an internet cliche right now, you know, hashtag protect your peace. But it really is true. You know, in the first half of life, things are tumultuous. You're still figuring yourself out. You're trying to put together a puzzle when you can't see the pieces and you don't even know what the finished picture is supposed to look like. So you end up trying to force together pieces that never should have interlocked. And you end up making some weird disjointed tableau that looks nothing like the final picture. I've held so many job titles over the decades, and I've been everything from a janitor to a vice president. They're all meaningless. And I've been with so many people. You know, when you're 18, you think, yeah, high body count, that'll make you a man. And then you get to your mid-40s and you realize, no. Because every person that you're with for short-term pleasure is someone who is going to break your heart, or you're going to break their heart, or it doesn't work out and you end up hating and resenting that person, they resent you. After a while, that game gets very tiresome. And moving up here, building this new life here in the far north of Scotland, has allowed me to put some distance between that accumulated mountain of regrets, all the mistakes of my past, and where I am today. When I first got here, all my stuff was still in boxes. There was no TV. I had my laptop, and that was basically it. So at night, I would get done with work, and I would light a fire in the stove and just watch the fire for hours. And it was the most peaceful, serene experience. And Christine wasn't able to move up with me initially, so I was by myself. And in retrospect, I'm kind of glad that I was, because it was the first time in my life that I wasn't in fight or flight mode, in survival mode. And all of a sudden, something that you've dreamed about for years, for decades, has come true. And it's your new life, your new existence. And it's real. You wake up, you stand outside like I'm doing now, and it still feels unreal. It feels surreal. Like, this has actually happened? Is still happening right now? To be in a place that nourishes your soul, to wake up and look forward to the work that you're going to do that day, to be with a life partner who reinforces that serenity and sees the world as you do, to be in a community that shares your values, where you feel proud to call yourself a member of that tribe. These things matter. Because you get to this point in life, you get to midlife, and you are a fully formed adult. And yes, you never stop learning, you never stop growing, but at this point you know who you are. You know what's important to you, and you're willing to say no. And the biggest lesson that living up here has taught me is to protect my peace. Because nothing is worth disrupting it. And I would not have that perspective had I not been through everything I had to go through in the first half of my life. The puzzle pieces now are visible to me, and the final picture that I want for myself. I can see what I need to do to assemble the rest of the pieces and interlock them correctly, so that before my days are done, I can sit back and behold the final picture and go, yeah, it was worth putting in the time and effort and energy to create it. 100 years from now, no one will remember me. Someone else will be living in that house behind me. No one will remember my story. No one will speak my name. No one will remember the sound of my voice. And that's as it should be. I will be forgotten. And that's fine. I think the world would be a better place if more people were comfortable with and even excited by the idea and the knowledge that they will eventually be forgotten. Because it sets you free to find a life that gives you peace, and to spend every possible moment you have left enjoying that peace. We're all just here for a little while and then gone. Find your peace. It's an amazing feeling, and one that I will preserve and protect and enjoy here for the rest of my days. One year down. Let's start year 2. You might be wondering, is the far north of the Scottish Highlands someplace worth visiting in winter? No, it's a bit rubbish, isn't it? So, Jamie, what is this called? Alright, we're gonna try this. I've never tried this before.
Well, I do hope
This has been homemade, so your guess is as good as mine as to how I'm about to react. Let's find out. Oh! Jamie! Will you marry me? Damn! Yeah! In mid-February, we got a very brief flurry of snow once again. I love snow, so here's a couple of minutes of relaxing snow footage. For today's scenic drive, we're in the heart of Sutherland, driving southeast from Lochmeady towards Altnahara on the Ben Hope Road. This isn't even a B road, I don't think. It's very narrow, very bumpy, so make sure your car is in good condition. But the reward is amazing scenery. This is the far north. Where are you now? Huh? Where are you? You told me I was too small, too weak, too stupid. You tore down my dreams, belittled my ideas, and forced me to stay silent. You chased me down the street, bashed my head into the concrete, and laughed as you took all my money. You told me I wasn't good enough, attractive enough, wealthy enough, or funny enough to be your man. You lied to me, used me, and disposed of me after everything I did for you. But you didn't beat me. You didn't break me. You didn't kill me. And now, you're not here. I'm still standing. And I sure as hell don't see you here. This is my life, and you're not invited. Thank you for making me strong. Now, I've found peace. These are the good old days. To anyone watching this who's struggling to get through today, keep going. It does get better.